Hey everybody, this is Aylad, and today I have a little bit something different for you. Here at my work in progress Starmade space station on the Starmada server, and I've been kind of checking out the most recent Starmade update, and one of the really cool things is the ability to go into this new, there we go, this new main menu. This is a really cool addition to the game. It's really cool that we've got nice in-game menu instead of the clunky dialogue box that we used to. But I'm kind of looking at the background here, and I'm thinking this is not the most interesting background. So, uh, yeah, we can do custom backgrounds for this menu, and today I'm going to show you how to do that. So one thing that I want to point out before I get to the actual work here is the background is blurry, and if you watch on the edges, you can see it kind of pulse. Like it gets more blurry and it gets less blurry. And more blurry. Yeah, and that's going to factor into a little bit of the image editing that we're going to have to do here in a minute. So let's go ahead and exit the game, and I'll show you how to get a custom background up here. Alright, so I'm going to take one of my most recent screenshots of some of the work I've been doing on my station. And I'm going to use that as the background. I've got a nice area of, pretty much negative space over here that I can use to kind of highlight the menu itself, and then the interest factor is more over on the other side. So I don't have anything too cluttered or too busy back here behind the actual links that I'm clicking. Now in Paint.net, which is what I'm using, this is a free image editor. It's very powerful. There's a couple changes I want to make to it. First of all, I want to blur the background intentionally. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I learned the hard way. If I leave it with all these nice sharp edges, when it does that pulse thing, it's going to tear my eyes up. In fact, I tell you what, real quick, I'm going to switch to that and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Alright, so on your screen here you can see a couple of things that kind of demonstrate the need that we have to do a little image editing. First of all, on the top left, you see how bizarre and kind of eye straining it is if you just leave the sharp edges. Yeah, and over here you can see a little something else going on, and I'm going to explain that when we get back into our image editing. So let me exit and I'll meet y'all back in Paint.net. Alright, so here we are again. Yeah, there's a couple of things that we desperately need to do to fix this. So under Effects, go to Gaussian Blur. I'm going to set it for a radius of around 4 pixels. We're going to see how that'll work. I think I was doing a little bit more than that before, but I'm going to try this and see how we like it. Alright, and then the other thing I need to do, and I'm going to do this after I blur it, is I'm going to go to Image Resize. I'm going to uncheck Maintain Aspect Ratio. And I'm going to set this to 1024 pixels for both width and height. And that's the size that actually came with the default installation. Okay, so that's where I pulled that from. Alright, and we get this horribly stretched image that looks like this. So far, so good. Now, I'm going to go to save this. And I'm going to end up with... Am I in the right thing? I am in the right thing. In the Starmade folder, I'll show you in a second where the full path is. I go to Data, go to Image Resource, save it as a ping.png. And I'm going to save it as, where is it, loading screen dash background.png. Okay, and that's the file name that it's going to look for. You can see the sharp edge version is already here. Now, just to show you, I've actually just renamed the old one. I just tacked an old and a dash on the front of the file name, so I can easily go back to it anytime just by deleting this and getting rid of old in the file name. But yeah, here's the full path for me. I installed the game through Steam. Basically, C drive, program files, x86, Steam, Steam apps, common, Starmade. I don't know why it's doubled. Data, image, resource is where you want to go for that. Okay. Yeah. So let me go ahead and save this. I'm just gonna leave default options because it should be fine. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna load up Starmade again and we'll see what this looks like. Okay, so here we are back in the game. You can see actually that you're still getting some kind of freaky eye effects, but without the sharp edges, it's not nearly as bad, at least not to me. If you want to reduce it even further, the blurrier you make the image, the less you're going to notice the duplicating of the image over and over, because that's actually what happens. Like it looks like maybe 3 or 4 copies of the image and just kind of overlays them, maybe 5 or 6 copies, and overlays them. And I don't really like the effect. I don't know how to disable it. I don't know if it can be disabled, but anyway, the more blur, the more Gaussian blur you put on the image, the less you're going to notice this. You can also see that it fills the screen, like it unstretched it, like it brought it back out to my normal screen proportions. And it got rid of whatever this box up here was. I think the game was trying to fill in from other graphics in the image resource folder, since the image that it was looking for wasn't actually the right aspect. But you may need to experiment a little bit if you have different screen ratio than me. I don't know, but at least for me, this, setting it to 1024 pixels square works great. It just stretches it right out again. So yeah, that's how you do it. I hope you enjoyed, or at least get something valuable out of this tutorial, and I hope to see you next week for another episode of Starmade on the Starmada server. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.